Alright, okay, I'll bring that down. Okay. I'll wait. Per usual, I will wait a couple minutes until everybody gets in here, and we will get started. And I'll make my usual posts. Look at that. I had all these posts set up. Rapid fire, rapid fire, rapid fire. There we go. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Starlight, Red Ben, Braden Bunch. How are you guys doing? Alright. This is our first stream of 2025. So, yeah. I hope y'all had a good holiday. Hope y'all had a good Christmas and New Year and all that. Excuse me. We had a huge snowstorm sweep through here about a week ago now. It snowed about 10 inches, and then we just got like another 3 or 4 last night. So, yeah, I mean, oh gosh, you guys should have seen my car on Monday. I usually park on the side of the road. Oh my goodness, it was buried. I had to dig that car out of the snow. It was crazy. Which I'm sure if you live up north, you're like, a foot of snow? That's nothing. But yeah. So, been getting around okay, though, and all that fun stuff. I wanted to have a trail for my project ready for it, but sadly wasn't able to get anything ready. Well, that's okay. I hope, I'm looking forward to it, and just, take your time, make sure everything looks good, and definitely looking forward to it. MF17, how are you? Nice. I literally just got done watching the, NFL playoff game on Nickelodeon. They started this about 4 years ago. I remember because it was the Saints and the Bears. It was the year where, of course, nobody could go to the games. And I actually, some of you may remember, I did a video right after that on like, could NASCAR do that? I guess technically, if Warner Brothers Discovery wanted to try something, they could. Because of them being with TNT now. I'm not sure how interested they would be in doing that, but it was a thought I had earlier as I was getting things ready for the stream, and I was like, Yeah, it's silly, but it's also cool. It's, I watch it out of curiosity, and I think it's an interesting way for the NFL to bring in casual fans and bring in new fans and introduce them to football. And I really like that they utilized... So what they did was they basically had Nate Burleson, which, by the way, quick shout out to him. He is like one of the most hardest working people in television. He's doing the NFL stuff, the Nickelodeon NFL stuff, CBS Mornings. He's hosting a new game show called Hollywood Squares. He, seriously, man, you want a guy who's dedicated, that is Nate Burleson. I mean, he's just great at his job, and he's just great at whatever's thrown at him. He's just, I admire people like that, and I strive to be like that myself as well. But, excuse me. So, yeah, they had Nate Burleson, and they had SpongeBob and Patrick calling the game with them. So, yes, they got, I think it's Bill Fagerbaki, I hope I said that right, and Tom Kenny, and they had like the models of SpongeBob and Patrick, and yeah, so Nate's calling the game there with SpongeBob and Patrick. Sometimes they get other characters involved and stuff like that, like Sandy being an analyst and stuff like that. So I thought that was really cool, and it's creative, it's fun, unique, and heck, I'd love to see NASCAR try something like that. They technically, again, if Warner Bros. Discovery was interested, maybe they can do something with Cartoon Network. Nickelodeon, the reason why they were able to make it work is because the NFL has that deal with CBS, which is under Paramount and all that fun stuff. So, which is fun fact. Sonic even appeared in it. Movie Sonic which I got. My birthday was December 20th. I got to see that movie on my birthday, Sonic 3, and I just want to say real quick, that was the best of the three. That movie is absolute freaking cinema. Yeah, that's my fear, is that I don't know where. It seems to me Warner Bros. Discovery doesn't give much care for animation, which is a shame because it's just, I don't know. I don't want to get too much into that, but yeah, that's why the Nickelodeon CBS thing works really well, is because it's all under Paramount, so they're just able to make that work. I appreciate that they made a good usage of the 90s characters as well, because there's people who watched Cat Dog and Rocko's Modern Life back then. Some of them are parents now, and so they get to laugh and go, "Oh yeah, there's that character," and while their kids are, and of course, we grew up with people our age grew up with SpongeBob too. So I don't know. It's just cool that they did that. It's really cool. Those of you who just joined, how you doing? Yeah, I spent Christmas week in St. Louis, and then came back. Right as New Year's hit, I got hit with a bad cold, but I'm doing better now. My voice was very much affected. It was very much affected last week, but I'm doing much better now. So that's good. Let's see. It's 2 a.m. right now, so I'll ask this immediately. So yeah, I kind of been rambling about the whole Nickelodeon thing. So yeah, one of the first things I want to talk about is right now we are in the process of moving the Winston Cup and Busch Series to Cup 2000. So I can't confirm that. We are going to use Cup 2000 for 2000. So I'm not going to give much away in terms of silly season and changes, stuff like that. There's going to be a lot of changes, and I think I'm going to say 2000 is going to be a big turning point, I feel like. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what things will look like there. It's and let me tell you, with some of the paint schemes we've made, we're cooking some meals. Like, we've really been liking some of the schemes we've been making. We're cooking, so I'm really excited to see that. I'm in Australia. The Melbourne weather is warm right now, 26 degrees. Well, 26 degrees here is cold, but I'm sorry. I know that's Celsius. I'm trying to think. What is that in Fahrenheit? Because I'm a goofy American. 20 Celsius to Fahrenheit. 78. Oh yeah, that's pleasant. Yeah, 78 is pretty pleasant. Alpha Sierra, take it easy. Hope you have a good night and all that fun stuff. Yeah, I apologize for the delay. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it can be kind of tricky, because sometimes you'll notice in the streams that which I just realized I should be streaming on the PC and I'm on my laptop. Oh well, anyway, if you notice lags, sometimes that just happens. Sometimes it can be a little tricky, and there's different ways to figure some stuff out and all that. There's plenty of stuff online now that can give you information. 26 Celsius beats 26 Fahrenheit. Oh yeah, I mean, I think into next week it's supposed to get back down to the single digits here again here in Cincinnati. So that's fun. You should see how much snow's on the ground. I mean, it's crazy. I know down south in Georgia and places they got a bunch of snow too, and all that. So yeah, once again, we're in the process of moving Winston Cup and Busch to the Cup 2000 mod. So we will be using that. I won't give much else away, but 99 alternate schemes. Yes, I will. Actually, I was just about to do that. If Ryan Priest doesn't win with RFK this year, his career may be over. I think for sure this is his biggest opportunity yet. He joined Stuart Haas when they were pretty much on the way out, right? So I'm intrigued. I've really been growing to appreciate RFK racing. I think Brad Keselowski is making a big impact. That team's willing to do things different, and yeah. So, and not only that, they got 3 Cincinnati-based sponsors: Kroger, Fifth Third, and Hoist. So, It was kind of it made me laugh seeing the pictures from the Kroger headquarters. Like, I know where they are. I'm not that far from them. So I just kind of laughed over that because I was like, yeah, they're in Cincinnati. How about that? So, yeah. Okay, let me catch up with the chat really fast. I'm highlighting contributions to the under 2003 community. Good, good. A pavement pound. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks, thanks, Novi Ranger. Super Sportsman Stock GT, we're still figuring out. I'm not going to say much on that because I just don't want to give too much away, and all that good stuff. But yeah, here in a moment, I'm going to show you some paint schemes. I haven't really showed those off a ton. So I'm going to do 2 races tonight. Ty Gibbs is going to... Yeah, I think Ty Gibbs wins a race in 2025. I think he wins a race. At least, I think he's pretty close to doing so at this point. I just realized I should turn the sound on. Okay. Hopefully I have all of them here. Obviously, there's Terry Labonte's 2 paint schemes that he drove. The Kellogg's Cornflakes Pontiac that he drives. And just a reminder, if you're wondering why Joe Gibbs Racing's the 17, it's because when I brought them in, there was another team already using the 18. And this 17 just so happened, I believe, to be on Big Evil Racing. So I was like, well, we'll just use that. Plus, it's an alternate timeline. Things have gotten goofy enough as it is. And then, of course, there's the Interstate Batteries car. Yeah, it does look cursed, but, you know, that's... Honestly, that's the whole thing with this timeline, is just things looking as cursed as it can be. Obviously, there's Tim Richmond. I painted that 46. Love how that scheme came out. I based it off of the truck scheme that Jack Sprague drove at this point. Yeah, it was the Paul Newman team that I had. Oh, the 41st spot in the... I think all the rule changes check out real quick. I'll say that. The 41st spot, I think it's good for NASCAR to try and experiment with things and just see, will this work? Will this not work? And we won't know until we do it, right? Which, again, I could see the reason for arguing against it. I do think something like this could help attract drivers like an SVG, an Elio Castroneves, a Jenson Button, you know, to bring in these international guys to expose our sport more out there to international crowds and stuff like that. I think it's a good thing, and I'm really excited about Elio Castroneves. And Trackhouse, you know, they had their intentions put in place before a bunch of other open teams did, and that's why they got that. So they just had their intentions lined up, and they knew what they were doing. They had a plan. I'm really looking forward to that Project 91 Wendy's paint scheme. Really looking forward to that. Looks like I will be heading back down to Daytona this year, so hopefully that they have the Wendy's set up there. Let me get through all that. The 2000 season will not have 2,000 different schemes. Yeah. Jerry Nadeau had 2 different schemes. I had Cheerios join the team a little sooner than in real life. So that's their STP car. Here's the Cheerios car. There we go. So yeah, there's that. This was one of the first alternates. I mean, we'll see what Castroneves does. He's going to run the ARCA race. I badly want him to win the ARCA race. I would love to see it. I mean, he does have a bit of stock car experience on an oval. He drove an IROC. That was 20 years ago, but he drove an IROC. So, and of course, you know, he's driven on ovals his entire career. So, oh, Bowser Jr.'s going? Nice. Yeah, I'm really excited for Castroneves. So this paint scheme here is one of the first 1999 alternates I made. Since Cartoon Network was on the 33 with Turner Broadcasting, I decided to make an Atlanta Braves paint scheme that Jeff Burton drove at Atlanta, of course. So, yeah, there's the Atlanta Braves car. The in real life car, which was the 9, had a Brave scheme as well, and all that. Let's see here. This is the Ron Fellows car that Jet made for his one-off start. Figure I'd give you guys... Andy Jankowiak winning would be cool, yeah. Yeah, that's what's exciting, too. ARCA is going to be on the Big Fox for Daytona. That's pretty awesome. I'm really excited for that. So, it's good for ARCA. Very good for ARCA. You may recall in '98 we had the NBA Finals paint schemes. We did that again for '99. This is the San Antonio Spurs car that was driven by Ernie Irvan. Jet made this scheme as well. You see the black and silver for, of course, the San Antonio Spurs. He also made these next 2 schemes for Shauna Robinson. There's the Big Kmart Pontiac. We basically decided to just kind of make 2 different schemes. And then, of course, the Little Caesar scheme that she won the Southern 500 in, and once again was one of the most wild Southern 500s ever. I still can't get over that. That was a wild finish. Johnny Benson, of course, the 23 Tide Ford, also made by Jet. Darrell Waltrip also drove this car. And then, of course, the races that Waltrip didn't drive that 23. He drove the 99 for Bill Davis Racing. Victor Herfinyama. Oh, gosh. If I had a favorite NBA team, it's probably the Pacers, just because they're the closest. I've always had a soft spot for the Pacers. Of course, the 12 DuPont Ford. Jet made this as well. So, Matt Kenseth, Yannick Dalmas, and Alan Sir Jr. drove this car. I will never not love a Little Caesars or Tide paint scheme. Certainly, yeah. Will you guys keep Walt Disney around? I will give out more information as we get closer to SNL 2000 and once the video is worked on and taken care of and stuff like that. Again, there's certain things I want to answer, but I just don't want to give too much away. But yeah, stay tuned for all that fun stuff. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Here's Jeff Gordon's McDonald's Breakfast Bagels car. Jet also made this paint scheme. So, if you want to hear it in the NASCAR Thunder voice, the McDonald's Breakfast Bagels Ford, And then the next car was the Eel River car Jet made. The Universal Studios Pontiac for Robbie Gordon and Al Unser Jr. So in real life, these 2 drivers were actually rumored to drive the Eel River car around this time. So we just kind of rolled with that because it just made sense to do so. We figured it'd be fun. So again, Robbie Gordon and Al Unser Jr., they split this car during the 1999 season. They drove more so in the second half, pretty much coming in as a new team instead of buying the Bahari Racing team since they're kind of out of the picture. They've been out of the picture for a while. This is the Rob Moroso. This is the second half of the NBA Finals cars. This is the New York Knicks car. Makes sense for Moroso. I think he's from Connecticut, if I remember correctly. So, I mean, right up the road, right? He'd probably be a Knicks fan. Let me check. That's not how you type it. Yeah, Madison, Connecticut. Okay. Yeah, he's from Connecticut. So, Robbie Moroso. Obviously, this is the other 46 car driven by Kenny Brack. Had a big year in 1999 in the Busch Series. And definitely a breakout year for him. And it'll be interesting to see what is next in store for him going into 2000. So, be on the lookout. This next car is the 91. This car was driven by multiple drivers, as you can see. Jet made this scheme as well. He made the MasterCard scheme. And all that fun stuff. The Quaker State car. So just decided to do something fun and unique for do something a little different, and have Quaker State sponsor the car. So Ferris made this paint scheme. Shout out to Ferris. Made this paint scheme for Bobby Hamilton. The AT&T Pontiac for Tyler Jett Motorsports. I hope Cartoon Network sticks around for the early 2000s. Imagine if we did have a Turner sponsored car, like if when we get to the 2020s, we have the Smiling Friends car. Anyway, yeah. So there's Bobby Hamilton. There's Arnie Irvin's regular scheme. Here's the NBA Platinum scheme. Jet made these as well. Yeah, Kenny Brack was gonna. I think he was gonna run the 2002 Daytona 500, which shout out to the folks at Fork in the Road, because they actually did that for 2002 as well. Check those guys out for sure. I know they got some videos coming out soon. Let's see here. This is, of course, the invert scheme for Moroso. Dodge Enter 96. Oh, interesting. Okay. There's one of Bubba Nissen's alternate schemes. The Goodies Orange Pontiac. Dude, Benson's gonna be... Oh, gosh, I can only picture that now. There's Rodney Orr. Continue to do part-time in the Winston Cup. Figured I'd show off that paint scheme a little bit. I don't think I showed it off too much before. So many cars. We're really starting to get more and more into the alternate schemes, which are fun to make. They're fun to do. I've already made a handful for 2000. The Casey Elliott Pepsi cars, Rose Jam made these. So you got the normal Pepsi Ford there. You got the Mountain Dew Ford. And then you have the Pepsi One car. Yes, pink is cool. I agree. Oh yeah, this was like a fun bonus scheme they made. This is the Pepsi Man car. So yeah, I think that car's in the downloads as well. I'm trying to remember. I think it is. Anyway, there's that. Of course, Rose Jam also made all the Paige Jones Cup cars. So obviously the Sega Dreamcast car you see there, and he made the other schemes I'll show in a moment as well. So there's that. Of course, Jet made the Bill Elliott Coors Light scheme. I still love how this... I wasn't so sure what this scheme was going to look like. But it came out really good. I'm really proud of how the Meliel car came out. Because I knew, okay, they changed your logo. How do I make this work? And I think the Meliel car turned out really well. So... you may have seen this car towards the end of the Cup season for 99. But this is the infamous Burger King Pokemon promo from around that time. So, yep, we put that on the car for John Nemechek. So, plus, we finally got to put Pokemon on a car since we had Pikachu on the TV guide car in real life at one point. So there's that. I figured I'd at least show that off a little bit. And, yeah, there's the Burger King Pokemon Chevrolet. Okay, so these two cars were driven in the Motegi race. Rose Jam made these two cars. So this is the Hello Kitty car for Paige Jones. So, again, just a really good job by Rose Jam making these alternate Sega paint schemes. And then this is the Georgia Coffee car Patty Moyes drove in Japan as well. John Nemechop. If this was Nickelodeon, it'd be John Nematoad, right? Nematoads. Pokemon's still going strong to this day. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's done very well for itself. And then here are the other... This is ironic. I was just playing Sonic Adventure the other day because I was bored, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to get on the Xbox and play Sonic Adventure for... Why not? Take a trip down memory lane. So, I can literally hear the main menu music in my head. But anyway, yeah. So you saw this car drive at Indianapolis. And here's the other Paige Jones cars that Rose Jam made. This is the Sega Power Stone car. If I have Gordon sponsored by Sega, who should be the pavement pounder? Well, that's all up to you, of course, and we're looking forward to seeing what you put together. This is the House of the Dead, I believe, right? Am I right on that? I hope I got that right. Rose Jam, if you're here, feel free to correct me at any time. But yeah, of course, in 1999, of course, the Dreamcast came out. A console that was, kind of ahead of its time. And it's a shame that it failed the way that it did. And, but it's still beloved by so many people, even to this day. Fun fact, the Dreamcast actually provided the earliest forms of DLC content. Look it up. I'm not even joking. Especially in Sonic Adventure. They did a fun thing for, like, the new millennium, year 2000. rolling around at the speed of sound. That's Sonic Adventure 2. But, yeah. This is the Sega Bass Fishing car. House of Dead 2. Okay, thank you. I wanted to make sure. Because I remember I had to abbreviate it. Any college cars? Have I made a college car? I don't think we have. May change at some point if it's deemed appropriate. If we feel like, because obviously we've seen them in the past. I remember the Kentucky races I went to. Michael Waltrip drove the UK Wildcats car in 2012, and boo, not Michael Waltrip, but the UK Wildcats. And then yay, the Louisville Cardinals car was driven the next year after Louisville won the championship. Before anybody says anything, Louisville won that championship. Anyway, it made me smile because as a Louisville fan, I'm like, this is great. But yeah. Yeah, you can make a Northwestern car for the Chicago race. You certainly could do that. This is great because the House of the Dead 2 got a remake announced a couple... Really? Oh, wow. Well, that's appropriate. How funny is that? And then this is the Sega Rally car as well. That's funny. I didn't know that. Huh. That's ironic. Excuse me. Well, it's interesting because at this point, video games were taking off, right? And we're at that point where, like, the PS2 is going to come out, the Xbox is going to come out eventually, and stuff like that. So it really, began to really take off. And it's crazy looking back when I was a kid playing video games, because, growing up in the 2000s before the 360 and all that came out, it was just the game you got was the game you got, right? Game over. Yeah. I don't know why. Now I just want to quote Metallica. Yeah, yeah. This is the Shauna Robinson Memorial Day car. She drove this in the Coke 600, which was painted by Jet. A PS2 NASCAR stock car would look really good. Yeah, certainly possible. Certainly possible. Let me check some. Okay, cool. So yeah, there's the Memorial Day. It's like the Memorial Day sale kind of thing. With that, give you a closer look. So obviously in real life, there was a McDonald's Toy Story car that Bill Elliott drove. Well, of course, Toy Story 2. So we had to do it with Jeff Gordon, and I think Jet did a phenomenal job with the buzz-through paint scheme. Definitely looks great. Again, shout out to Jet, Ferris, and Rose Jam for painting these cars. They all did a fantastic job on them. Jet also made the Superman TNT car. Again, Turner Broadcasting, so they got all the goody stuff. This was, of course, long before the days of Warner Bros. Discovery. I've been playing NASCAR Thunder 2003 a bit on my GameCube this week. Nice! This is another Cartoon Network car that Jet made. This is the Courage the Cowardly Dog car. And all that fun stuff. I had to scroll up for a reason there. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Jet made this as well, the Toy Story 2 Cheerios car. So you got a couple more schemes to do, and then we'll do the first race. I already got the 2 tracks sorted out. So yeah, there's that. And then this is the Pepsi Star Wars scheme. Rochia made this scheme as well for Casey Elliott. And lastly, you may have seen this. This was like a bonus car. We did this for Shauna. Jet made this for Shauna in 98, so continuing the trend in 99. It's the Champion Gold car for Ernie Irvan, commemorating his 1999 Winston Cup Championship and all that fun stuff. So I apologize for never getting a Toy Story Barbie car made. I had way too much. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, you know, I think we all, you know, I really love how all these cars turned out. Everybody did such a great job. I mean, seriously, everybody did a great job. Churchill Downs NR 2003 is also happening. As somebody who used to live in Louisville, I'm looking forward to that. I'm definitely looking. I actually went to Churchill Downs a few times as a kid, including once for the Kentucky Derby. I went there. I went to the Derby once. Okay. Enough yapping. I'm just kidding. So I will do 2 races today. The first race I am going to do is going to be the default Atlanta when it actually got reconfigured, of course. So the Irvin Gold card was a blank looking car from the post the other day. Alex did it. Yes. I did an oopsie. You may have noticed that I just put all the alternate schemes together and so that they can just randomly run whatever it decides to do. I forgot it. I had the gold car and there was like, whoops. So that's a mistake on my part. So sorry, folks. Trucks at Churchill Downs will be great. That does sound actually like cinema. I'm looking forward to that. Cool. Yeah, cool. It's also awesome to hear all these all these different alternate timelines being made now. It's awesome. It's really cool to see all that. So, all right. So yeah, we'll do the first race at Atlanta. Of course, Atlanta kept the old configuration, but we're gonna do a what if essentially. What if they were racing at the I guess the current Atlanta, kind of, but you know, you know what I mean. Any updates on Dodge? Well, obviously, it was announced in '99 that they're going to be coming in 2001, just like in real life. Ray Abraham's involved. Not going to give anything else away right now, but you will find out more information in due time. So, stay tuned for that. Oh, the Blues are playing. I forgot the Blues are playing tonight. They're playing the Blue Jackets. Anyway, all right. So I got the sound on. Perfect. So yeah, let's go race at the Atlanta. My friend who did Rebirth is doing. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's right. Again, it's cool to see all these different alternate timelines being made. I think it's really cool. It's just a way to celebrate creative motorsports content and celebrate racing in general, and yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good.
Drivers, to your cars.
Oh, look at this! Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon will be on the front row. How fitting! Yeah, I hope Griff's doing well. Again, he's a big reason why I wanted to do something like this. Is when he did One More Spark and all that, because I remember when he first announced it, and I thought, man, that is really cool that he's doing all that. So anyway, we'll save this in case it decides to be funny and crash.
Drivers,
All right, let's take a look at our starting lineup here. Dale Earnhardt on the pole. Jeff Gordon will start next to him. Row 2, you have Sterling Marlin and Shauna Robinson. Matt Kenseth, Ricky Rudd in row 3. Tim Steele and Jeff Green in row 4. Behind him in row 5, Rob Moroso, Patty Moyes. Then you got Davey Allison, Ernie Irvin. Then you got Bubba Nissen, Kyle Petty, pair of Pontiacs there. John Nemechek in the 51. Texas Terry Labonte. Alan Kowicki in the 7. Paige Jones, he'll be driving the Sega Rally Dreamcast Ford. Jerry Nadeau in the 43. And you got Tim Richmond in the 46, the GMAC car. Hey, Nasshawk, how you doing? I will once we get more stuff figured out and more cars made, I will let you know what Stock GT and Super Sportsman and all that will look like. I can tell you that we are moving Cup and Busch to Cup 2000. So there's Rusty Wallace, who will probably find some way to win this race, and his brother Kenny Wallace starting right next to him. There's Joe Nemechek there in the Dr. Pepper Chevrolet. And next to him, the 98 Caterpillar Ford of Jeremy Mayfield. And you got Bill Elliott in the 9. And then Casey Elliott in the 94. And you got Kelly Earnhardt. Darrell Waltrip in the 23. The 77 of Rick Mast, the 41 of Jimmy Spencer, the 58 of Robert Presley, the 50 of Ward Burton. Then you got Bobby Hamilton in the 10, Eddie Bierschwell in the 21, the 91 of Steve Grissom, the 27 of Robbie Gordon, the 06 of Todd Bodine, the 97 of Chad Little, our Daytona 500 champion, Rodney Orr, and Jeff Burton. And there's your starting lineup. Alright, we are 1 minute away from rolling the cars. 82 laps for this one. And we'll see how the Winston Cup and Sunday Night Lights does on this configuration of Atlanta. So again, hope you guys are staying warm, and I know a lot of you are dealing with all the winter temperatures and all that. I ran on this Atlanta with Cup 90 and it was amazing. Oh yeah? Nice.
Drivers, start your engine.
I guess one of these days I'll have to do the new Atlanta at some point too. Alright, hopefully all 42 cars will roll off like they should. Things look promising so far. Alright. Oh, alright, Starlight. Interesting. Any NFL paint schemes? I don't know yet, honestly. I don't think I've done one. All right. Here we go. Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon will lead the field of the green flag, and here we go. We are underway from Atlanta. And immediately we got a new challenger for the lead here. Here comes Sterling Marlin in the 22. Side by side with Earnhardt. And they come back around to the start-finish line. It will be Sterling Marlin leading that first lap. He and Earnhardt remain side by side. Matt Kenseth, meanwhile, looking to take third from Jeff Gordon. Very impressive of the up-and-coming driver. Marlin will clear Earnhardt for the lead. And Kenseth looking to chase down Earnhardt now. Robinson, however, will have something to say about it. Robinson unable to get to him for now. Kenseth will remain in third, but Robinson trying to get to his quarter panel and almost going 3 wide there as Jeff Gordon now wants fourth from Robinson. Kenseth still hanging on. There's Jeff Gordon in fifth. Robinson to the inside of Kenseth for third. Gordon will get behind Robinson and potentially work with her. Robinson and Kenseth still side by side as they come back to the start-finish line. Jeff Gordon's going to make it 3 wide for third. Who's going to benefit the most? Gordon could have a little bit of assistance from the 6 of Tim Steele. The 25 of Ricky Rudd is there as well. And Gordon is going to take third from Robinson for the time being. Earnhardt and Marlin have pulled out a little bit from the rest of the field. As Gordon will clear for third. Robinson trying to hold on to fourth. She could be under fire from the 6 of Tim Steele. Meanwhile, coming to complete lap 6, heading to lap 7, Sterling Marlin still out in front. And yes, I agree, that DuPont 12 definitely looks good. Definitely a fun start here at Atlanta. Excuse me. Ernie Irvan up to 6. Matt Kenseth still learning in the Cup Series and getting showed up by the veterans for sure now. He loses a spot to Kyle Petty. Could lose more as Ricky Rudd and Rob Moroso are looking to get past him. Kenseth, for now, hangs on to 8th. Battle up here for 6. That's Kyle Petty in the 42. And our Winston Cup champ, Ernie Irvan. In the 11, Irvan will hang on. Things have kind of calmed down up front here, I should say, up front. Patty Moyes battling Jeff Green. That is for 11th place. Looks like Moyes is going to hang on to her spot. Of course, Patty Moyes won the 96 International All-Star right here in Atlanta. It was certainly a big day for NASCAR. Battle for ninth between Rudd and Moroso. Yeah, everyone plays bets when Rusty will take the lead. Like I said, he'll find a way up front somehow. I know how this works. So let's just skip to the end. I'm just kidding. Oh, we got some action up here. Robinson and Gordon fighting for third. Robinson wants third. Tim Steele is up there too. He may look to follow Shauna Robinson, and he does. All right, Braden thinks lap 58 is when Rusty will take the lead. I'm going to say lap 79. After this race, I will discuss the next Racing Infinity, actually. And let you guys know what's going on with that. Rusty Walhart. In a way, Rusty's kind of become Dale Earnhardt in this timeline, which is kind of crazy to think that. Robinson and Gordon back to battling for third again. Kyle Petty, meanwhile, has been moving his way up. He's going to take fifth place away from Tim Steele. Lap 82 just before the finish line. That's probably what's going to happen, honestly. Meanwhile, it's still Sterling Marlin out in front. And that number 22 Lowe's Ford for Roger Penske. 14 laps are complete here in Atlanta. Earnhardt started from the pole, but immediately Sterling Marlin took the lead as Kyle Petty got up to the bumper of his teammate, Shauna Robinson, in the 40. Three drivers right there who have had crowning achievements here at Atlanta, being crowned as a champion. In 1992, it was Kyle Petty. In 1998, it was Shauna Robinson. 1999, it was Ernie Irvan. And not too far behind them is our 1993 champion, Ricky Rudd. And of course, in second, you got our three-time champ in Dale Earnhardt. And perhaps in this mix, you could see some future champions like Jeff Gordon, maybe Tim Steele, and maybe perhaps Matt Kenseth. Look at this. We're going to go three wide again for third. Kyle Petty's going to sneak to the inside. He's going to try and benefit from this the most. Gordon might be a sitting duck here as Petty tries to get the upper hand on his teammate. Hey, Corvette Racing, how you doing? Excuse me. Still recovering from this cold. We are racing at default Atlanta, the Atlanta that comes with NR 2003. Definitely been an exciting battle here for third in this little pack of cars right here. Definitely been exciting to watch as Kyle Petty makes his way up to third. Ricky Rudd now making his way up to fourth. I'm sure he'd love to get a win for Mr. Rick Hendrick here today. I kind of showed off some of the alternate schemes. I basically showed off the alternate schemes earlier and all that. And just kind of talked a bit about SNL 2000. I did say that... lost my train of thought, sorry. The Winston Cup and Busch, we're in the process of moving those to Cup 2000 and making schemes for that. Have you watched Tow Cars since the last stream? I have not. Just been busy with other things. Like I said, I was not too long ago for Christmas. I was in St. Louis and all that. Oh, wow. What's this? Johnny Gaudreau's number got retired by his USHL team. Oh, wow. Things have settled down here once again. Patty Moyes is working on Matt Kenseth for 9th. Tim Steele there in 8th. You see Matt Kenseth in danger of being outside the top 10. There's Rob Moroso. There's Rusty Wallace, Jeff Green. Of course, Jeff Green, in both the off-season playoffs we did for 98 and the 1999 championship race, Jeff Green suffered heartbreak both times, got in a wreck both times, Ernie Irvan winning the championship on both times, both occasions. Jeff Green looking to get past Bubba Nissen. That's for 13th place. Patty Moore's trying to get past Tim Steele for 8th. Ahead of them, Ernie Irvan is getting past Jeff Gordon for 6th. What started the partnership? Well, basically, this was like the International All-Star was like something that was being planned on for like a year or two. Because apparently, I read somewhere, when Dallas bidded for the 2012 Olympics, there was an idea thrown around about Texas Motor Speedway hosting like an international all-star for their Olympics. So that's where that idea kind of came from. And it was like, what if we did this for 1996 in Atlanta? And we're like, yeah, let's do it. And I'm just really proud of how all that came together. It was really cool. It's insane how the offseason... Yeah, it or at least it predicted the outcome of the championship, which is wild, because I look back on it and went, oh my God, you're joking. That's insane, you know? That's just crazy. So yeah, there's a story of that. Battle for second. Kyle Petty knocking on the door of second place. Why Texas Motor Speedway? Well, because it was under when Dallas was trying to bid for the Olympics, so that's why. Again, this was... Yeah, but again, that bid was back in like 2000, so this was long before COTA was ever even thought of. So, that's why Texas Motor Speedway was mentioned. Yep, SoCal Speedrome, that track's coming along pretty well. Really enjoying how it's turning out. I think you guys are going to like it when that comes into fruition. So, again, that's something else to stay tuned and look forward to, as Kyle Petty has taken second from Dale Earnhardt. Car number 3, now P3. Kyle Petty looking to chase down Sterling Marlin as we come to lap number 28. Oh yeah, that's a good question from Jet. What's everyone's favorite new paint scheme from 1999? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Was Texas World still hosting races back then? I know they were doing a bunch of small stuff. I know there was like kart races on the road course and stuff like that, but nothing major at that point. I know it was doing like a bunch of small races. And we have a yellow. Just see what the caution's for. It may have been for Bobby Hamilton. Let's find out. Yep. So first caution on lap number 27. Ooh, looks like Hamilton just got into Mayfield and it sent them both into the wall. Hamilton, heavy damage on the right side of his AT&T Pontiac. Looked like he might have driven a little too hard going into turn 3. Let's go on board and see what happened here. There was a lag. Okay, incredibly sorry. Here's the wreck again. Again, Bobby Hamilton just drove it a little too hard into turn 3. Jeremy Mayfield with some heavy damage on the left side of his Caterpillar Ford. Nobody else involved in the incident, but it was certainly enough to bring out the caution for the first time this evening. Oh yeah, the Gran Turismo car? Yeah. Mayfield was P33 when this wreck occurred. Mayfield on pit road. I'm sure Bobby Hamilton on pit road. Looks like a lot of the leaders have already made their stop. I'm sure Bobby Hamilton will probably make his way down. It's kind of refreshing when a bunch of cars don't run into what should be like a 1 or 2 car incident. Instead of everybody just piling and boom, stuff like that. The Universal Studios 27 or the Edda and Eddie 33. Yeah, the Edda and Eddie car, I'm glad to have made that because, especially for me, it's kind of special because that was a show I really enjoyed as a kid growing up. So I knew that came out in 99. I figured, hey, this would be a wonderful opportunity to do something like this. So Kyle Petty will have the lead. He beat Sterling Marlin on pit road, who is second. Rudd is third. Earnhardt back to fourth. Irvin is fifth. Sixth is Robinson. Moyes is seventh. Wallace eighth. Ninth is Nissen. Kenseth 10th. Then it's Steele, Green, Moroso, Kowicki, Paige Jones, Tim Richmond. Jeff Gordon lost a ton of spots on pit road. Oh boy, Rusty's in the top 10. So it begins. And our 2003 crashes are entertaining for sure. The number 12 DuPont looks good, I agree. The Jeff Burton Superman car. Let me check. That is the scheme he is running right now. It's the Superman car. Jeff Burton currently 24th. Well, this is going to be interesting because Bobby Hamilton, who was just in that wreck, is going to restart in front of our leaders. Oh boy. 50 laps remaining in this race when we get back to the green flag. Kenseth, Chup, and Rust. Oh God. Mustard! Yeah. Any paint scheme looks great on a 9602 Pontiac body. Oh yeah. Marlin Ace. Oh gosh. Yeah, Dale Jarrett did for 98. I remember because I think he got caught up in a wreck at Road America, and I showed that. Yeah, he did drive a Packers car at one point since Jared Farr Motorsports. And here we go. We are back underway. Petty thought about going inside. He's going to go up high instead. I don't think that was a good idea. Here comes Sterling Marlin. Unless perhaps he can use Bobby Hamilton as a pick. It depends what kind of speed the 10 has. If Kyle Petty can just get around Bobby Hamilton, it looks like he's going to. Excuse me. And Kyle Petty definitely benefited the most. He is off to the races as everybody else is working to get past the 10 car, who restarted out the tail end of the lead lap. Marlin Earnhardt are getting by. Here comes Rusty Wallace and Ernie Irvan. Oh, don't look now. Here comes Rusty Wallace. To the inside of Earnhardt for second. And where did Bubba Nissen come from? Up to fourth. He wants third. Hey, Andrew Church, how are you? Rocks while stopping. Yeah, that's a scheme he ran in 1999 for a little bit. Bubba Nissen, of course, the 1996 Winston Cup champion. Rusty Wallace, the four-time champion. 88, 94, 95, and 97. That 97 championship run was domination. Earnhardt, the three-time champion, 1980, 1986, and 1989. Still remains one of the biggest influential names in the garage area, despite now in the potential later stages of his career. Still running well, though, in his late 40s. But now he's under fire from Bubba Nissen, who wants to get second. Rusty Wallace on the outside in fourth, right behind the 3. Honestly surprised Rusty only won a single title in real life with how strong Penske was. Yeah, I mean, I know he's come close on some occasions, but I think that just also showed that Dale Earnhardt was just that good. And then, of course, Jeff Gordon then came into play. That didn't make things any easier for him because, I mean, Gordon was just so good. Earnhardt and Nissen fight for second. Shauna Robinson battling Rusty Wallace for fourth. All three Sapco Pontiacs up there up front. And Nissen takes second away for now. Earnhardt still at his quarter panel, fighting back on the outside. Shauna Robinson has taken that spot from Rusty. So has Patty Moyes as well. The Sapco cars are coming to life. Here they come. Maybe perhaps the Pontiacs just have everything in place to have a good run here today. You see Nissen is up there. Kyle Petty leading, of course. Do you have a spreadsheet or website that calculates Winston Cup points? I use Score4, like to put to input the standings and all that. I use Score4, so it's score and then the number 4. So that's what I've done. Rusty got 10 wins in 94 in real life compared to Dale's 6, but he was consistently consistent. Yeah, sometimes not always the best performing driver. Not they don't always they don't always win it because you always have to be on it. You always have to come clutch when you need to come in the clutch. So Shauna Robinson is taking third. Here comes Tim Steele from out of nowhere. Now he's putting the pressure on Dale Earnhardt. Patty Moyes now wanting to get past Tim Steele there for 5th place. Kyle Petty still leads. Nissen 2nd. Robinson is 3rd. Rusty Wallace has dropped back a little bit. Now back to 7th place. Let's see here. Alan Kowicki trying to work his way up. Jeff Gordon there in 10th. Tim Richmond also joining in on the fun. He's in 12th. Gordon's going to try and make it 3 wide on Moroso and Irvin. Alan Kowicki is there as he's side by side with his driver and teammate. Excuse me. Does anyone know why Xerox left Kowicki? I'm trying to remember why. My mind's drawing a blank. Hold on. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, just, okay. After the 1990 season, Kowicki lost his primary sponsor. After Ashland Incorporated, the makers of Xerox chose to instead use its Valvoline motor oil brand to replace Folgers and sponsor Mark Martin at Roush Racing. So yeah, I think that's all I think I can find with why Xerox left Kowicki. Xerox and Valvoline were, at the time, owned by the same company, Ashland Incorporated. Fun fact, based out of Covington, Kentucky nearby. So, how about Tim Steele getting past Dale Earnhardt there for position? Shauna Robinson now second. Lap 54 of 82 so far. I learned something interesting about my NASCAR Thunder 2003 career mode recently. Oh, what did you learn? And now Nissen wants to get that spot back. Yeah, because Valvoline was they've been in the sport for quite some time. Because I know some companies ran like multiple brands, if you will, kind of like Procter and Gamble. Drivers automatically retire at age 58. Interesting. Let's see. Yeah, it was like 87, yeah. Greg Sex, 1987. It was the 50 car. He was in the 50. Yeah. Tim Steele putting some pressure on Bubba Nissen, trying to get third place. So we're coming to lap 60. Drivers retired after 8 championships. Yeah. Because I know in the NASCAR Thunder 2000 mod, once Earnhardt in career mode or whatnot wins his 8th title, he does retire. I think Richard Petty was about 60, I think. I think he was around that age. Looks like Patty Moyes. We got an all Pontiac top 4, followed by 2 Fords in Tim Steele and Rusty Wallace. Do I have to play the Jaws theme song at this point? Dun, dun. All right, we got green flag pit stops. Hopefully this will be the last round of pit stops. Wallace, Nissen, Robinson, Moyes. Not Moyes. Petty. Not Moyes, sorry. Gordon, Moroso, Kowicki. Let's see if we get a coming off pit road caution or something like that. Okay, yeah, he was. That's what I thought. Because when he won that Super Sportsman race, he was like 59 or something like that. So, still can't get over that happened. That was wild. Any ideas on the storylines? Well, there's some pretty good ones we're working on, I'd say. There's some we're kind of tossing around, seeing what works and everything, so we're discussing things. No issues so far. Pretty easy going pit stop there for Kyle Petty. Oh, whoops. There we go. In terms of winning a National Series race, yeah, you might be right, Andrew. Hey, Floyd fan, how are you? Across all three. Yeah. All the different series. Kyle Petty under pressure from Rusty Wallace. I am concerned that this is probably for the lead. knowing my luck, so. Oh boy. So, yep, Rusty Wallace is your new leader. So, lap 65. Anybody have anybody had lap 65 for when he take the lead? He just it's no use. He can't be stopped. Rusty Wallace is just really proving that he's really him. I think Rusty could win a 5th title still. He could probably get to 7 if the game wanted that. I know that kind of scares y'all, but it's a possibility. I mean, I don't know in this timeline if we're going to ever hit a 7-time champion, but it's going to be interesting to see what, especially over the course of the 2000s coming up, what NASCAR is going to look like. I'm really excited about the 2000s. I think a lot of cool stuff's on the horizon for sure. So, I mean, we've seen crazier things. We've seen Jeff Green crash out of nowhere and lose the championship. If I had a nickel for every time that happened, I'd give 2, which is kind of weird that it's happened twice. Even if one of them was like a hypothetical playoffs thingy. Excuse me, a hypothetical playoffs thing. After this race, I'll kind of talk a little bit about the next Racing Infinity and when that's going to come out, and then get on to the second race and go from there. So, getting close to the tail end of this race here. So far, it's a battle between Rusty Wallace and Kyle Petty for the win. They are approaching some lap traffic. I see the 73 of Rodney Orr, the 27 of Robbie Gordon, and the 58 of Robert Presley. Rusty is polished. Yep. I'm pretty much. Get it, guys? Because Rusty and polish. Where will Kyle Busch and Jimmy Johnson be racing at? So we're figuring out Jimmy Johnson for 2000, and obviously before long, we'll get to see Kyle Busch and all that. Obviously, Kurt has been racing in trucks as of right now. So, who became Jeff Gordon's crew chief? Haven't really gotten into that. I'll be honest. The 11 in this universe is Ernie Irvan. That is a second car for AK Racing, Alan Kowicki's team. See if I can find him for you. There he is, driving the MBNA Ford in Sunday Night Lights, coming off winning the 1999 championship. And honestly, what has been a massive turnaround since joining AK Racing a couple seasons prior. He's been much more successful. He's won a lot more races, and now he is a champion of the Winston Cup. He's looking to get past Dale Earnhardt as for 9th place. Wallace and Petty continue to take care of lap traffic. Next car in line is Presley. Then you got Jeremy Mayfield, Darrell Waltrip, and Ward Burton ahead of them. Rusty not able to get to the 58, or get past him, I should say. That's the Hollywood Video Ford. When it comes to silly season stuff, again, I'll let you guys know what that all looks like as the video gets closer to being done and all that stuff. Oh yeah, good point. Mark Martin and Bud Moore were together in 1999. Oh my gosh, did I have that? You know what happens when you have so many cars entered? There's always that one or two weird D&Q, and for some reason, Mark Martin D&Q'd. That is really bizarre. Okay. I'll have to double check to make sure he's in there and stuff like that. Your stuff has been making me want to re-download Enter 2003. Oh, that's great to hear. I've always enjoyed this game. It's fun to play with. To me, it's become timeless, that many people still use this game, 22 years later, almost, after it's come out. So, it's cool. It's a great game. To me, it will go down as one of the best. What are your ratings based on? So, Ferris helps out, who works with us. Ferris helps out with our ratings. So he kind of made a rating system, depending on how, of course, drivers did based off the results of the previous year, their age, and everything else. So, sorry for the lag there, folks. Oh man, Ward Burton just slammed the door on the 2. Now, I'm not sure how Mark Martin was not in this race. That is really bizarre. So, I'll double check for that. I don't know why he's not in there. So, my apologies there. Bueller? Yeah. Don't have a PC, but I love... Yeah, I'm glad you love the what ifs, but yeah, certainly NR 2003 is honestly a fun game. Oh yeah, his What If Dale Earnhardt timeline? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Get Ferris and nerf Rusty Wallace. In his rating system, there is something he does that helps with, like, once a driver gets to like a certain older age, that their ratings start to decline a little bit and stuff like that. But anyway, let's say Rusty's running away with this one. Coming to about 5 laps to go from Atlanta. Ferris Bueller's a fun movie. Bueller. Anyway. It's just fun to say. Yeah, I started off the stream talking about, I was just watching the NFL playoff game that was on Nickelodeon, the Chargers-Texans game, and me watching Joe Mixon, former Cincinnati Bengal, win the Nickelodeon MVP award. Problem with Enter 2003 is I got a new PC last year, and it was one of them that didn't have a CD drive. There is actually a no CD patch for NR 2003 that you'll have to download. So, yeah, so there is like a no CD patch to the game you can use and all that. How many career wins does Rusty Wallace have? That's a good question. That's something I'll have to go back and check and see who has how many career wins and all that. That could be really fun to talk about. It's funny. Yeah, I'm sorry about the Chargers roast jam, and don't worry, I'm a Bengals fan. I'm used to disappointment. It sucks because like they got hot, but if we should not have lost to New England week 1, and man, our defense stunk it up. I mean, the Bengals defense stunk it up. So they just fired the defensive coordinator, the offensive line coach. So I hope they bring in the right people that can sort this out and, get that team figured out. Because, I mean, like, Joe Burrow, man, he put up MVP numbers this year. The sad part is he's probably not going to win MVP because he didn't make the playoffs, but who knows. White flag for Rusty Wallace. Who would have guessed? They got hot and then burned. Yeah. Rusty Wallace, the 4-time Winston Cup champion, is going to win this first mock race. Off turn 4, checkered flag, and this one will go to St. Louis, Missouri's Rusty Wallace. Rusty Wallace just knows when to come in clutch when he needs to, and it shows. It's crazy that Penske, in real life, they didn't win their first NASCAR Cup championship until 2012 with Keselowski. But here, Rusty's won him 3. Yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes you get races like that. Only one caution, though. Nothing too insane. So there's your finishing order. Good run for Kelly Earnhardt, Tim Richmond. Huh. I didn't notice that. I did 42. How did I only get 40? Interesting. Okay. High school never ends. So yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Patty Moyes and Jeff Green there because they were up front for much of the race. So that's quite interesting. That's not right. There we go. Jeez. Anyway. What happened to the last of the independents? Well, you know, a lot of them just ended up retiring. McDuffie still runs some Super Sportsman races and all that. So, let me mute that really fast. There we go. That 33 was a car I showed earlier. That was the Jeff Burton Braves car. So that wasn't a spoiler. That was a car I showed earlier. So, yeah, J.D. McDuffie did get a win in 1985 in this timeline. Yes, that is true. Click. All right. So, before we move on to the next race, I'll talk about Racing Infinity Volume 31. Excuse me. So, it is a what if. Right, I did the race and I wrote down the highlights, and I just need to get to basically doing the footage and all that fun stuff. As of right now, I am shooting for not next Saturday, but the Saturday after, so the 25th is my plan for the next Racing Infinity. It'll be January 25th. That's what I'm aiming for right now and all that. So, one of the drivers you mentioned actually wins in my timeline. Interesting. But, yeah, so I'm not going to give much away, but it's going to take place in the late 90s. I'll say that. It's going to be in the late 90s. And it was a pretty fun, exciting race, so I think you guys will get a kick out of it, for sure. So, yeah, I figured I'd talk about Racing Infinity Volume 31 really quick before we head into our second and last race of the evening, and I just want to say, I know we're an hour and a half in. I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in, as always. These streams have gotten more and more views as they go by, so I really appreciate it. So, because the 25th will be the next video, I'm also going to be aiming to do a stream next Saturday, where I'll probably talk more about Racing Infinity Volume 31 and what other updates there are. So, yeah, I mean, if any of you guys want to do any fun what ifs, I mean, I don't mind at all. I know I got like a list of all sorts of different ideas for Racing Infinity that we haven't done yet, so there's that. So yeah, for our second race we're doing tonight, we're going to do Pensacola. It's the fictional 3-mile super speedway made by Action Pack Tracks. Since this is a super speedway, I'll only do 1X. Thanks, Jed. I have High School Never Ends in my head now. I don't have that song on my Spotify playlist. I should probably have that in there. Ah, the Blues lost. That's a bummer. Lost 2-1 to the Blue Jackets. Bummer. Well, what can you do? Chrysler? Oh, that'd be interesting. So yeah, we will be heading to Pensacola. This is a fictional track that somebody made. Action Pack Tracks made. FedEx, before going to Gibbs, was originally looking at the one for DEI. Oh, that's interesting. Imagine if MTJ had the FedEx car back then. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I want to double check something. I just realized. Stand by. I want to check something. I want to see why the heck Mark Martin's not on there. Something. Hold on. Wait a minute. Something not right. So, yeah. Is he on the roster? Because I'm pretty sure he is. If he's not, then I'm insane. But let's see. Scroll. Oh, jeez. We don't want a Le Mans 55, yeah. You need 42 cars. Yeah, I'm kind of curious if maybe I just didn't have 42 because I had all the alternate paint schemes in there, so if so, that's my fault and I apologize. Okay. Let's see. There's a guy on YouTube who did. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen cases of those. All right, let's see now. Pencil soda. Okay. Soda. Anyway. Make sure I got 42 cars. Yes, I do. I do have 42. Okay, there we go. Pepsi Cola. That's a good point. Okay. I think I have solved the issue. So. Practice is complete. Oh my god, what is that top two? Rick Mass. Okay, this is interesting. We're
Drivers, to your cars.
All right, qualifying. Sterling Marlin on the pole. Kyle Petty starting second. Kenny Brack is starting third. All right. This is going to be a wild card race. Minnesota.
Drivers, to your cars.
All right, let's take a look at our... Yes, this is a plate track. Let's take a look at our starting lineup. As I mentioned before, Marlin on the pole, Kyle Petty starting next to him. Row 2, the 46 of Kenny Brack, the 31 of Jeff Green, followed by Patty Moyes and Jeff Gordon. Then you got Alan Kowicki and Matt Kenseth, Ricky Rudd and Shauna Robinson, Jerry Nadeau, Bubba Nissen, Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt, Kelly Earnhardt and John Nemechek. What was that, Joe? John Nemechek. Mark Martin, Robert Presley, Tammy Jo Kirk, and Joe Nemechek. Then you got Paige Jones and Bill Elliott, Jeff Burton, Tim Steele in the Eagle One Ford, Bobby Hamilton, Davey Allison, Chad Little and Ernie Irvin, Kenny Wallace, Terry Labonte, Casey Elliott in the Pepsi Star Wars car, and you got Al Unser Jr. It's the 41 of Jimmy Spencer, the 91 of Bobby Labonte, the 77 of Rick Mast, 98 of Jeremy Mayfield, Rob Moroso in the 20, Rodney Orr in the 73, the 23 of Darrell Waltrip, the 21 of Bierschwell, the 06 of Todd Bodine, and the 50 of Ward Burden. This time we do have a 42 car field. All right, go ahead and make your picks. Who do you think is going to win? Yeah, Eddie Bierschwell is still in the Winston Cup. That is because he won a Daytona 500 in this timeline. Crazy, I know, but he did.
Drivers, start your engines!
The 06 is going to win. Now let me make sure all cars are rolling off here. Oh, that's fascinating. The pace car went that way. Okay. Oh, he's back. Okay. Guess who's back? Anyway. The 91, let's see. Try to remember. So, it was Bobby Labonte, Steve Grissom. I had Eric Comas drive a couple of road course races because he was rumored to run for Joni Dunleavy in real life at Sonoma. Oh goodness, why can't I? Tim Feudua and Andy Hillenberg. I might be missing a name, but yeah. The 22 is actually Penske here. Bill Davis is the 1 and the 99. In case, Floyd, if you're new to the timeline, feel free to check out SNL Restart to kind of get caught up on what all has happened. And then, of course, there's 97, 98, 99 as well. Alright, so we're going to go for 50 laps here in Pensacola. 3-mile long track. It's going to be a wild one. Could we see the big one? Could we get a surprise winner? It's a plate race. Anything can happen. I got mixed up. Oh, no worries. I just realized Bill Davis has the Trackhouse numbers. Anyway, here we go. Green flag, we're racing at Pensacola. And here we go into turn 1. Already going 3 wide in some cases. Marlin and Petty battle side by side with Brack and Green behind them. Down the backstretch. So far, so good. Alan Kowicki making a run now. Right behind Marlin. Coming back around to complete the first lap. Marlin and Petty are side by side. Look at this. And Kyle Petty will lead lap 1. 223 miles an hour. That's how fast these guys are going. That is some incredible speed for plate racing. My goodness. .225 there going into turn 3 for Kyle Petty as he leads the way. Jerry Nadeau has made his way to third, looking for his first career win. Man, it is like a snake of cars. Just a pack. All over the place. Wide open, fast, wide open racing here in Pensacola. 3 laps are complete. A Sapco Pontiac leads the way. A Sapco supported Pontiac looking for the lead now. That's Jerry Nadeau in the 43. Davey Allison up there as well. Look at Paige Jones into the mix as well in the 99. Looks like a Western Florida version of Daytona. Man, I just want to see the speeds. 226 recorded by Kyle Petty there. Good Lord, these cars are going fast. We almost went 4 wide there for a moment. There's Chad Little, our Daytona 500, our recent Daytona 500 winner. Casey Elliott now up there. Look at Al Unser Jr. in the 27. We are going 4 wide. I thought I saw 5 wide there. The 99 is sponsored basically by Sega. There was different alternate paint schemes. That is Sega Rally Championship on that car. Currently, big crash behind him! Big crash! I just saw a car flipping. Well, that's a bit of it, but oh my goodness. Caution is out. I mean, when the way they were racing, it was bound to happen. My goodness, I want to know what in the world caused. I'm going to have to go slow-mo here. It looked like potentially, yeah, it looks like Rusty Wallace. Oh, we had Penske on Penske problems here. Holy cow, look at this mess. Oh my goodness. Sorry, my voice peaked like that, but good lord, it scared me. Alan Kowicki, Davey Allison involved. Rusty Wallace was involved. Should probably use the helicopter cam for this one. So it seemed to me it was 4 wide here, and it looked like Rusty Wallace had just gotten into Marlin here. Davey Allison just an innocent victim. The 22 getting some air. The 5 got some air. Patty Moyes involved. Kowicki had nowhere to go. Man. See anybody else? Bubba Nissen looks like he did a good job avoiding all of that. Definitely, and Terry Labonte there at the end as well. So the caution is out. As Nadeau and Kyle Petty were side by side coming back to the start-finish line. And this was the race back. It looked like Nadeau had gotten Petty at the line. Caution out here on lap 6. So Jerry Nadeau leads. Kyle Petty second. Rick Mass third. Jimmy Spencer fourth. Alan Sir Jr. fifth. In sixth is Casey Elliott. Ricky Rudd seventh. Eddie Bierschwell is eighth. Ninth is Moroso. 10th is John Nemechek. We're racing back to the car. I know there's something for that now that freezes the field and all that, so I think there's something like that now. I'd like to start using that. That's something that I want to test here soon and make sure that works and all that good stuff. So that's something that I'll definitely be taking a look at. So we are at our first big crash. Will there be any more? Will we go green? Who knows what will happen? The caution speed? 80. Better cautions. Yeah, that's what it was called. Yeah, better cautions. I'd like to take a look at that here soon. And if I feel like that I can utilize it for SNL 2000, then I will. You know? If it means, you know, a wreck happening and we don't have a bunch of cars piling into it, that will help. It's good. Just don't enable overtime before the green. Otherwise, you'll only have a 2-lap race. Gotcha. Okay. Alright, lights off the pace car? No, not yet. So, I'm guessing going back to racing probably on lap 10. Of course, these pace laps take a little longer. Excuse me. 3-mile long track. The pace lap speeds are 80, which is pretty fast. STP's all mine. Dinoco's all mine. Trouble. Turn 3. Oh, and a huge crash behind the leaders. Who would be McQueen? I don't know. That is a good question. Excuse me. Alright, lights are off for the pace car. Jerry Nadeau will lead the field back to the green flag. We are 1/5 of the way through this one. Alright, pace car down pit road. Here we go. And we're back underway. Any cars out of the race? Alright, well, Rusty Wallace is out of the race, so you guys have nothing to worry about. Patty Moyes and Alan Kowicki, unfortunately, out as well. Those are the only 3 cars out of the race so far here in Pensacola. How about Al Unser Jr. up there in 4th? Now he wants 3rd from Rick Mast. But here comes Casey Elliott. So we begin to form another pack of cars as Kyle Petty goes to the inside of Nadeau. Already reaching speeds into the 220s. And Kyle Petty leads, but Al Unser Jr. about to take 2nd from Jerry Nadeau. Pontiacs are looking strong. We got Rob Moroso now joining in on the mix, as well as the 6 of Steel. 225 right there going into turn 3. 225 by the leader. Al Unser Jr. is there. Can he get his first ever NASCAR victory? Yeah, I wonder if I'm sure there's something in the INI where the cars can slow down to some more realistic speeds, like 190. Although it may look a little slow going around the track just because how big it is. It's a 3-mile circuit. Arc is pretty much alive and well in SNL. Not a whole lot changes there. And all that. Not entirely sure on ASA, though, yet. That's something I just really haven't looked into. We need an SNL cinematic universe. Yes. Yeah, it's a non-canon race. It's a mock. I call them mock races. They're just, just fun little races I do on these streams and everything else. Some for the folks to enjoy and show off some of the paint schemes and all that. Ernie Irvan, Rob Moroso up there. Kyle Petty still leading the way. Plenty of racing left to go here in Pensacola. I want a Kyle Petty W, not gonna lie. Absolutely. Kyle Petty's been fun to watch in this timeline. He's had a much more successful career. He's a champion. Still going out and winning races as of 1999. So he's really helped put Sapco Racing on the map as one of the top teams in NASCAR. I'm only kidding with you. It's all good, man. I figured. Squid Game versus Sunday Night. And when we get Sunday Night Lights on Netflix, when's that happening? Yeah, Jet, Ferris, and Rose Jam, they all did a great job with these cars. I heard scraping. Nope, I think I see the caution light. I thought I heard scraping. I think we had another wreck, boys. Ooh, Chad Little is out of the race. The Daytona 500 winner from 1999. Oh, no, this looked ugly. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man, Rick Mast. Oh, no. Barrel rolling down the banking. Oh, no. Terrible crash. Second caution of the day, and it comes out on lap 14. Well, let's take a look at what happened here. Tough break for Jerry Nadeau, man. He was up there in front and just unfortunately gets caught up in this wreck. As you see, the 97 along the catch fence there. Wild ride there for Rick Mast in the 77. Fun fact, when I went to the Brickyard 400 last year, I had a poster signed because they were celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Brickyard 400. And I had 5 drivers sign that poster. One of them was Rick Mast. Also had Ricky Rudd, Hutch Strickland, Morgan Shepherd, and Ernie Irvan. So I'm taking a look. It looks like Unser Jr. and Rudd just squeezed down on the 43. Poor Bobby Hamilton getting involved. Mast was just an innocent victim. Little was just an innocent victim. Man, look at that. Ouch, just slammed up against the 25 like that. Might have to do some catch fence repairs there, especially with the... Look at Chad Little just riding the wall completely off the ground. Goodness gracious, that would be a red flag. That might be a long red flag to fix the catch fence. Oh my goodness. Crazy crash here at Pensacola. Yeah, they would. Well, the other thing, too, is in real life, this race would not be running 226 miles an hour. I can tell you that right now. Yeah. So. And Chad Little was just running up against the wall there as Kyle Petty leads him back to the caution. So Kyle Petty leads. Then it's Moroso, Kenny Wallace. Jeff Gordon was shown in fourth. I don't know what happened to him. He's way back here now. So he might be like 28th now. So I'm assuming Tammy Jo Kirk will be fourth. Then Casey Elliott, Ernie Irvan, Bill Elliott, Bobby Labonte. No, it'll update itself. Does Pensacola have lights? I think there's a night version of this track. Yeah, I think there is a night version of this track, actually. Chad is skateboarding. Yeah, that's what happened. It's promoting Chad Little's Pro Skater. That's what it was. It was Chad Little's Pro Skater. Why do I want to take a screenshot of that and just cross out Tony Hawk and put Chad Little's Pro Skater? Also, one of my rules of thumb with Rex and SNL especially, if I deem that a wreck is too unrealistic, I usually just cancel it out and say the driver's okay, because it's a 22-year-old video game. It's not perfect. It's still a goated game, but yeah. John Deere skateboards, yes. That's how John Deere's going to get in on the young crowd. There's an improved Bristol I saw at GP Labs too. Yeah, I know what video you do. I actually, pretty sure I used that Bristol. Fun fact, I used that Bristol for 1999. So, because I liked it and I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's use this track, see if it works. So. What's a real-life driver whose career got cut short you wish had a longer career? Mine is Mike Alexander. I don't really do career-ending crashes a whole lot here. Whose driver's career got cut short? I would say, technically it wasn't cut short, but it got heavily affected. I guess Steve Park, because I just think he's one of the biggest what-ifs out there, what he could have been and stuff like that. Oh yeah, Jerry Nadeau. Absolutely Jerry Nadeau. That's a good one, actually. Tim Steele, because he had the opportunity for Cup. Lights are off the pace car. We'll go back to racing on lap 19. Excuse me. Yeah, that Daytona 500 absolutely saved both Chad Little and Mark Rypien. Yeah, Kurt Busch technically had his career cut short too. Alright, we're going back racing this time. It'll be lap number 19 of 50. Will we have any more wrecks? Will we get through? Let's see what happens. Pace car goes down pit road. And here we go. We are back underway. Coming back around, Rob Moroso leads this time around. Yeah, in SNL, I'll say this right now. I do not ever plan on killing off a driver or ending their career because of injury. I just, I want to give all the drivers possible an opportunity to race and have an opportunity to thrive as much as they can. So, that's pretty much my thing there. Well, the field's kind of spread out now thanks to those wrecks, but good chunk of cars still in contention for this win. Look at Bill Elliott to the inside of Ernie Irvan. Tim Steele also up there. Ward Burden up there in the Midwest Transit car. Allenser Jr. still up there as well. To the inside of Moroso, here comes Bill Elliott. Coming to lap 22, it's going to be Bill Elliott out in front, but here comes Tim Steele now to the inside. And Tim Steele will take the lead. Tim is him. Elliott does take the lead back. I think the other Elliott is in this pack as well. Yes, Casey Elliott. But it's Bill Elliott out in front. Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. And whoa! He had to slam the door on Tim Steele. Steele had a ton of momentum, but I don't know how that's going to pay off because Tim Steele is back to the inside. He's got help from Paige Jones in the 99. Trio of Fords on that inside line. Mark Martin is there as well. Shauna Robinson getting in the mix. 4 wide for third now. 4 wide. Tim Steele trying to get some help from Shauna Robinson. Back to the start-finish line. That was so close at the line. Ooh, man. Bill Elliott just barely beat Steele at the line that time by. Steele leads again, just barely over Bill Elliott. Now here comes Jeff Gordon to the inside of Robinson. He's going to bring Dale Earnhardt, Robert Presley, and John Nemechek with him. Excuse me. Off turn 4, we reach the halfway point in our race. And once again, Bill Elliott is just able to have the upper hand over Tim Steele. But here comes Dale Earnhardt from out of nowhere. And Dale Earnhardt, always a threat on tracks like these, and it shows new leader, car number 3. And all those cars in his rearview mirror, 4 wide for second, as John Nemechek wants to take second from these guys. John Nemechek trying to chase down Earnhardt, the 3-time Daytona 500 champion. Look at this. John Nemechek to the inside. Here comes Kenny Wallace as well. And the lead changes just like that. It's Nemechek versus Kenny Wallace. Ward Burton up there. Rob Moroso. How about Kenny Brack in the 46? Nemechek and Wallace still side by side. Kenny Brack up to 3rd. Brack goes low. Rodney Orr was also looking low. He goes back up, and now he's going to be under fire from Ernie Irvan. And 3 wide for the lead. Here comes Kenny Brack. Couple of Hendrick cars now up front. That's Nemechek and the 46 of Brack. Allenser Jr., a couple of drivers with some open wheel backgrounds up there in the mix. Oh no, here we go again. Oh my God. Darrell Waltrip sliding on the side of his car. Oh God. Nobody hit him. Oh, we were doing so well. The 27 is owned by Eel River Racing. Jack Cunningham, I think is the guy's name. Oh my gosh, another wreck, another handful of flips. Darrell Waltrip and Rodney Orr made contact. They were 4 wide. And as you see, Darrell Waltrip, eventually something had to give. Bill Elliott just gets squeezed in there, and Tim Steele gets spun by the 1. Steele had to check up. Jeff Gordon in there. Oh my God, Bill Elliott on his roof. And then Darrell Waltrip just going for a ride on the side of his car. Now this has turned into Darrell Waltrip's pro skater. Look at that. I think Eel River, they bought Bahari Racing, and I think they ran like the second half, I think, or something like that, or towards the end of 99, but they were full on in 2000. I think that's what happened there. Got scared. I thought, I'm amazed Bill Elliott kept going since he was on his roof. I want to see Bill Elliott. Let's go slow motion on this again, because again, Bill Elliott was just an innocent victim. As Waltrip and Orr rubbing up against each other, something had to give. They go up the track into the 9. Tim Steele had nowhere to go. Jeff Gordon too. Man, look at that. Just so you know, all drivers are okay. That will take some cars out of the race, no doubt. On board with Todd Bodine in the 06. Getting out of the way there. Oh, whoops. Yeah, it appears that Kenny Brack did beat Al Unser Jr. back to the line. We'll have under 20 laps to go when we get back to racing, but once again, we are under caution for the third time today. What has been a pretty wild race. The Chargers were outscored 32-6 after the Dirty Bubble kidnapped Jim Harbaugh. Yeah, blame the Dirty Bubble. He's the reason why, yeah. What's Danny Marshall doing? I haven't thought of it as much. I kind of had a thought that maybe he just goes into sports car racing or something like that. Yeah, I think the Dirty Bubble is the reason why the Chargers lost. Oh no, not people comparing Justin Herbert to Andy Dalton. Just saw a post about that. Bruh. Oh my god, I know the Florence Y'alls did not just tweet that about Justin Herbert. The Chargers basically chargered. Like I said, well, okay. I know, the Bengals did make the Super Bowl. Yeah, so the Florence Y'alls are an independent league baseball team in my region, and they literally tweeted earlier, Justin Herbert was just tested positive for being ass. I'm like, good lord, y'all really tweet that? Good lord. Yeah, Eddie Bierschwell is up there in the mix. How about that? I think we're getting ready to go back racing, actually. So with that, Kenny Brack is out in front. John Nemechek is second. Eddie Bierschwell is third. Jeremy Mayfield fourth. Jimmy Spencer fifth. Jeff Burton sixth. Kelly Earnhardt seventh. In eighth is Jeff Green. Ninth, Mark Martin. 10th, Dale Earnhardt. What happened to Al Unser Jr.? He was up there. Did he pit? He's being shown in 16, but he can get his way back up there. There's going to be 19 to go. Yeah. This is, yeah. There used to be a running gag that I had to take a picture of the Florence Y'all water tower every time. Yes! The good old Florence Y'all Tower. Yeah, because they were the Florence Freedom. Then they got new ownership, and after 2019, they rebranded to the Y'alls, which I'm like, okay, that's pretty fitting. I like that. So, lights are off the pace car. We're ready to get back to racing here. Excuse me. Long way around this track, but let's see if we can go green for a while. Here we go. Kenny Brack will lead him back to the green flag. Here we go. 19 laps remain from Pensacola. John Nemechek to the inside of Brack. Brack's out there by himself on the outside. They kill Yarbrough and America. Yeah, pretty much. They kind of did, yeah. Some interesting contenders up in front. A lot of drivers jockeying for potentially their first career win. John Nemechek out in front. Kenny Brack has been dropping spots. He's back to 10th. Jeff Green up to second. Now he wants the lead from John Nemechek. 4 wide behind them. Jeff Green on the move. Dale Earnhardt, he's on the move too. Looking to hook up with his teammate. Perhaps get RCR past John Nemechek there in the 51. You see the 40 of Shauna Robinson working with Kenny Brack. And whoa, John Nemechek going down pit road. Are these potentially green flag stops or perhaps just stayed out? Well, with that being said, that's going to hand the lead off to Jeff Green. I don't know what happened to John Nemechek there. So he had to suddenly pull into pit road. So Green leads, Robinson second, Earnhardt fourth, and then Brack in fourth, Martin fifth. To the inside, here comes Earnhardt. We may have an RCR 1-2 on our hands. Robinson able to hang on. Coming back to the start-finish line, we will have 15 laps to go. Earnhardt looks to the inside, but Robinson's going to get in front of him. And here comes Shauna Robinson. You may remember Shauna Robinson and Dale Earnhardt, who put on that spectacular finish at the end of the 1995 Daytona 500. Robinson nearly winning the 500 again, but it was Dale Earnhardt with the late pass for the win. You got Mark Martin, the 1990 Winston Cup champion. And now Earnhardt to the inside of Shauna Robinson. And Dale Earnhardt takes the lead as we come back to 14 laps to go. The field definitely more spread out now thanks to all those wrecks. But this race, far from over. Robinson and Brack team up. No, Brack's going to go to the inside. We go 3 wide for the lead. Kenny Brack needs some help. Because of that, Shauna Robinson's going to take the lead. Brack's going to get behind her. Here comes Paige Jones now in the 99, looking to pull off a potential upset. The Big K car, that was done by Jet. Jet's Racing Designs made the Shauna cars. Well, especially you look at Earnhardt and Robinson, 2 drivers that are pretty popular, I'd say. Especially Shauna has practically become a freaking megastar, essentially. Robinson leads. Kenny Brack second. Paige Jones now third. How about Kelly Earnhardt entering the mix? She's to the inside of her father, Dale Earnhardt. Paige Jones now dips to the inside, looking for some help to get to second place. He may have that with Kelly Earnhardt. Oh no, Kelly Earnhardt's going to go down low instead. 3 wide for third. Brack back to the inside of Robinson. Kelly Earnhardt giving Brack some help. New leader, the 46 of Kenny Brack. 11 laps to go. There is a lapped car ahead. And where did Jeff Burton come from? Jeff Burton in that Ed, Edd n Eddy Cartoon Network Chevrolet out of nowhere to take the lead as he had some help from Paige Jones. That is John Nemechek ahead who had to pit. So he's going to have to try and blend in with this pack of cars, all contending for the win here today. They are fast approaching the 51. Here they come. 10 laps to go for Jeff Burton. May not be long for him, though. Here comes Paige Jones to the inside. But is he going to get held up by John Nemechek? They're going to get slowed up just a little bit here, but it looks like Nemechek is able to blend in with the pack. He is not in contention for this win. As Paige Jones takes the lead, looking to pull off an upset. He must have some of that Sonic the Hedgehog speed under the hood of that 99 car, because he looks fast. But Rob Moroso's right behind him. Then you got Kyle Petty, Mark Martin, Ernie Irvan. So many drivers still in contention for this. 9 laps to go now. How special would it be for Paige Jones to really prove himself and win over a lot of the veterans of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series? Still got a ways to go. Back to the line. 8 to go now for Paige Jones. Rob Moroso there on the inside. John Nemechek pushing the 99 because that 51 is a lap down. There is another lap car, Jeremy Mayfield, who might have been in a similar spot to John Nemechek. They will have to deal with him at some point. Kelly Earnhardt, third. Bobby Labonte in the 91 is up there as well. The 06 of Todd Bodine, also in the mix. We could have a major upset on our hands. But how about Paige Jones holding these guys off as much as he can? But again, they are fast approaching Jeremy Mayfield, who's a lapped car. They're going to have to be on the lookout. Moroso and Irvin, they have a plan, and man, do they make it work that the 99 gets held up by the 98. And Rob Moroso is going to take the lead, but now he's got Mayfield in front of him. Paige Jones doesn't have much help on the outside. Moroso goes up high. Irvin down low. So is Kelly Earnhardt. And here we go. 3 wide for the lead. And Kelly Earnhardt wants the lead, but Jeremy Mayfield is trying to stay in front. Look at Shauna Robinson dip down low. Robinson and Earnhardt battling it out. This time it's Kelly Earnhardt she's battling. I definitely hear some more lap cars ahead. Robinson now leads. How about Joe Nemechek in the 85? Where did he come from? The 58 of Robert Presley in the mix. I can't even begin to tell you who's going to win this race. Someone is going to flip at the checkers. At this rate, it wouldn't surprise me. Look at this. 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. Look at this mess. We got a couple of lap cars, including a damaged one. Oh, this could get interesting here. Presley to the inside of Nemechek. 3 wide for the lead, and they're approaching a couple of damaged cars in Gordon and Labonte, as well as Davey Allison. This could really split the field up. Shauna Robinson is going to benefit the most here as she works her way around the outside. And she looks to pull away with 5 laps to go. Ernie Irvin following suit. Mayfield is there, but he is a lap down. Joe Nemechek's trying to work his way past Davey Allison. And he's going to do so. Everybody else still being held up. Right now, perhaps 3 drivers in contention to win so far. 4 laps remaining. When they get to the line here, 4 to go. Up front, our 1998 champion and our 1999 champion. And Jeremy Mayfield in between, who's a lap car. Irvin is trying to get past that 98 car as quick as he can. But again, he's got no one to help him thanks to all that lap traffic. Jeff Green, Kyle Petty, Jeff Burton, Bobby Labonte, Kenny Brack. I don't know if they have enough time to catch these 4 guys. Really now, you know, Joe Nemechek, even he's far away now from Robinson and Irvin, as now we have just 3 to go. And here comes Ernie Irvin to the inside of Robinson. Not able to get to her. Gonna try again. Nearly got in there going into turn 1, actually. Side by side into turn 2. And Ernie Irvin takes the lead from Shauna Robinson. Not over yet for Robinson. She is right there. Perhaps she may wait till the last lap to make a move. Ooh, look out. Got to get past the 43 of Nadu. Robinson versus Irvin. The 2 most recent champions in the Winston Cup and Sunday Night Lights, battling it out with 2 laps to go. Does Robinson have enough to get past Irvin? She needs all the momentum she can get. She doesn't have a lap car to work around here, so She's going to have to stay behind that 11 and try and find the right time to make that move. Ford versus Pontiac. White flag. Final lap at Pensacola. Who's going to come back around in 3 miles and win this race? Will it be Robinson? Will it be Irvin as Robinson goes to the inside? They're side by side. The crowd's on their feet going wild. Robinson trying to clear Irvin. Could that 98 car play a factor here? Who is Mayfield going to push? Does he want to get into this mess? They're still side by side going into turn 3. Get your cameras ready. Irvin losing ground. Robinson on a last lap pass is going to steal this one. Checkered flag. Shauna Robinson wins at Pensacola on a last lap pass. How about that? Some damn good racing there between the 40 and the 11, and that's why those two are Winston Cup champions. What a crazy race here at Pensacola. An absolutely wild one as Shauna Robinson takes home the W. Irvin is second, Kyle Petty third, Jeff Green fourth, and then Paige Jones in fifth. Tammy Jo Kirk, Casey Elliott, Jimmy Spencer, Matt Kenseth, Robert Presley round out your top 10. Super Speedways, baby. That's right. Man. What a race. A last lap pass for the win. Always a thriller. And you see it here today as Shauna Robinson takes on the win over Ernie Irvin. Girl power strikes indeed. Man, oh man. Looks like Jeff Burton and Joe Nemechek said no field and retired. I wonder if they had to pit on the final lap, and because of that, the game kind of registers things kind of funny when that happens. All right. Well, that was certainly a fun one. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Oh, man. That was certainly a wild one. Well, we're close. We're starting to approach 3 hours, so I just realized I have Family Guy on my TV to my right. It's the episode where Peter keeps falling down the stairs. Anyway. Alright, so, yeah, I'll start to wrap things up here. If you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns real quick, or anything else of that nature, let me know before I head off. And we'll go from there. So yeah, good chances are that I stream again next Saturday, and then the Saturday after that we'll be racing Infinity Volume 31. And once again, we're in the process of moving Winston Cup and Busch over to the Cup 2000 mod for Sunday Night Lights 2000. 2000 is, I'd say, shaping up to be a pretty big year. It's going to be wild. I really do feel that way, so like I said, we just try to make every season bigger than the last. So, you know, we said, how can we make 97 bigger than 96? How can we make 98 bigger than 97? 99 bigger than 98? And now, how can we make 2000 bigger than 99? So, yeah, all that good stuff. So, anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap things up here. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Those of you that are new, feel free to subscribe. Stay tuned for more content on the way and what's in store for 2025. We're going to look to make this a big year for the channel. And as always, I appreciate all the support that you guys give. It really means a lot. I really am thankful. And, you know, again, I know this is the first stream of 2025, so I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday, a wonderful Christmas and all that. And, well, I guess the NASCAR season is just around the corner now at this point, huh? So we'll definitely look forward to that as well. So with that, I'll go ahead and wrap things up for the night. And thank you guys so much for tuning in as always, and I will see you all next time.